And welcome back to Who Would Win. We're no longer in the week of it. It's just Monday is the day I do Who Would Win. This one comes to us from Bart Simpson, who asked the question, who would win the fight? Koro Sensei from Assassination Classroom versus All Might from My Hero Academia. Now, Koro Sensei was technically, by all accounts, technically still is, though his body transformed. He was a human. He was an assassin, but due to some experiments, he transformed and was threatening to destroy the world if these kids didn't get trained up to kill him. But essentially, he takes the form of this yellow, round face, smiley face octopus guy. He has with an antimatter physiology. Now, here's the thing. Clearly, this does not work in the same way that actual antimatter works in real life. And if the antimatter came into existence, antimatter and matter cannot exist theoretically, mind you, in the same space together, because they would basically destroy each other. It would just cause an effect that just destroys everything. But his antimatter physiology, due to the human experiments of producing antimatter in a living body, his entire appearance is like an octopus-like creature with multiple tendrils that function as tentacles. Anything aside from anti-sensei weapons will be ineffective in harming him. It is initially believed that he would self-destruct by the time Class E graduates. However, it has since been proven that proven that the chances are miscellaneous at best. And I'm thinking that must be the reason he wanted them, or he needed to be killed prior to that. Protective coloring can change his skin into any color, utilizing for expression emotions, as well as disguise and camouflage. Mucus. The standard trait of antimatter organism, the mucus that Koro Sensei that has varied uses for support. What the hell is the freaking wording on this? The standard trait of an antimatter organism, the mucus that Koro Sensei has varied uses for support purposes, such as waterproofing, cleansing, adhesion, and the replacement of tears. Liquefaction. After he drank the fourth poison made by Madame Oku, developed an ability to control his fluidity. He can morph into a mass of mercury-like slime. In the cost of his mass tentacles, he can fit through any space while retaining most of his abilities. He had absolute defense, although another trump card never used until the Okinawa trip. Koro Sensei can shrink his body into a sphere, and the remaining energy from the transformation hardens as a crystallized second layer over his spherical body, making him impervious to harm. After 24 hours, the external shell liquefies, and he will slowly absorb energy over a period of time until he fully regenerates. The only drawback in this is that he is rendered immobile and is susceptible to being carried around. The only mechanism that can potentially break through this form is the Spear of Heaven. Energy Laser. He has developed an absolute defense, or an ability developed from the absolute defense. Channel a portion of his inner energy into his tentacle in order to discharge a laser beam. Molting. Once a month, he sheds his old skin and uses it as a protective membrane, either on himself or another individual, protecting them from being hurt, even from military-grade explosives. Afterwards, his reaction speed may temporarily be reduced, but he's still fast enough to dodge attacks from the class. Regeneration. If one or more tentacles are maimed, he can regenerate the severed limb. However, this weakens his stamina. Surgery. After he was unable to save Aguirre from a fatal injury, he began learning about... He's a surgeon. Okay. Superhuman speed. He can travel up to Mach 20. His normally soft angelic head hardens into immense pressure as he possesses as a process known as dilatation phenomenon, which presumably lowers his wind resistance, allows him to reach inhuman speeds. The only known object to surpass this is the reusable space shuttle and the transformed Reaper. Super reflexes that go with that. Super speed replication, superhuman senses. Despite having no visible ears or nose, he is proven to be able to hear things no normal person can pick up, as well as detecting odors. He's superhuman digesting, can digest anything, including poisons, inorganic material. Invisibility can turn invisible, but is still noticed because his clothes don't turn invisible. Other abilities include genius intellect, assassination, eidetic memory, or perfect memory, genius chemist, and mechanics. However, weaknesses include because of his answer to the tentacles when they questioned him from within. He gained a number of weaknesses when he became the teacher of Class 3E, including he tries to act cool. His weaknesses show. He is surprisingly quick to panic. He is petty. His punches are weak. Boobs. Natural weakness. He is humble and subservient to his superiors at work. He has no patience for wire puzzles. He gets motion sickness. He can't sleep on a pillow other than his own. He worries about others' appearances. He can't handle hot food. Getting wet, natural weakness. Juicy gossip. Hackney plot developments make him cry. Jesus, how many? 40 weaknesses! 40 of them! He gets taken in by rumors. Time after molting is a natural weakness. Time after regeneration is a natural weakness. His body gets rigid when bathed in a special beam of light. Natural weakness. When he returns to normal after a serious situation, he gets embarrassed. He can only draw simple pictures. Heat fatigue. He is strict about poolside manners. He can't swim. He likes to gossip. He is weak against the occult. That's interesting. He can't gather people. He feels worthless. If he can't gather people, he feels worthless. Tone deaf. He sucks at hiding. He gets carried away by official positions. His heart is an natural weakness. Not related, but acts like a doting parent. Gets insurance to avoid getting hurt. Doesn't really know what your own football means. He sucks at reporting. He suffers from road rage. Restructuring. Natural weakness. Grabbing all his tentacles at once will make him unable to move, unintentionally adding insult to injury. Completely oblivious to the mood and moments of high tension. And Class E3 is arguably his greatest weakness. Although students are susceptible and aware this, only 3 students ever made an actual attempt to exploit this factor. Anyway, and foibles. Painfully narcissistic design. His room resembles a dumpster. Okay, that's not important. So yeah, Koro Sensei is pretty hard to kill. I remember actually watching a little bit of the anime. Like, that's how we has Koro Sensei. All Might is the founder of My Hero Academia, basically. He is the founder of Hero Studies at UA High School. He is considered the world's greatest hero and has the quirk, which is what they call powers, which I think is cool, the one for all. Now, we're going to use, obviously, him at his best. His overall abilities, All Might was recognized as the strongest hero in the world. He was the symbol of peace. He was able to defeat All for One, a dangerous villain who ruled all of Japan years ago and was revered by Japan's most powerful villain twice. Even after his quirk powers were constrained by his injuries, All Might's strength and speed were unmatched, though he was only able to manifest it for a limited period of time. The time limit got shorter and shorter after he passed his quirk on to Izuku. Even so, All Might still defeated villains on his own that groups pro heroes normally struggled against by pushing his power beyond its reasonable limit. All Might defeated Nomu, who was created specifically to kill him, so forth and so on. So indomitable spirit is one thing that he always has. All Might's will is clear in almost all his actions of the hero. He's known for saving people with a smile, the catchphrase, "Here I am," or "I am here." Two facets of him being a symbol of peace. The most predominant feature of All Might's willpower was during his fight for All for One. Worn out of his muscle form and faced with certain defeat at the hands of the virtually unscathed All for One, All Might still was able to channel what was left of One for All to defeat All for One in a single strike. Indeed, all of his primary strategies in their fight was to try to wear down All Might's psychologically, albeit to no avail. When he actually had the All for One quirk, inherited from Nana Shimura, All for One quirk gave him access to nearly unlimited stockpiled power. By channeling his power through his body, All Might had superhuman strength, speed, agility, as well as invulnerability. All Might was so proficient with All for One that he's widely known as the most powerful person there is. A single punch from All Might could not only defeat a villain, but completely change the weather shortly afterwards. All Might's pure, overwhelming strength is comparable to that of a nuclear device. He's quite literally beaten the shock absorption of Nomu and was able to clash with All for One's attacks and cancel out their high destructive power with brute strength alone. His speed was also near unmatched. When he arrived in the USAJ, All Might moved a remarkable distance from the gate and simultaneously incapacitate villains in a blink of an eye, meaning he can move faster at least than the human eye can see. He's able to travel over 5 kilometers from the bar leagues towards the hideout, where All for One was in about 30 seconds. So he can move 5 kilometers in 30 seconds. That's pretty impressive. According to All for One, this was actually much slower than All Might was capable of in his prime. All right. His durability, All Might was extremely durable, almost to the point of being completely invulnerable. He sustained no life-threatening damage from the battle with Nomu, and took point-blank, understanding explosions from Katsuku without so much as slowing down. All Might was even able to survive All for One's blast wave attack, and move that caused citywide catastrophe, emerged unharmed with only some minor scratches. So again, durability. He's capable of tanking massive blows, dealing massive blows, moving incredible speeds, and clearly stamina is on that same level. I mean, all these attacks are just really him using his physical abilities. So yeah, not really that impressive. So the question is, who wins in the fight, All Might or Koro Sensei? Now, let's assume that All Might is still around, and he, even because of some hero's quirk, winds up in the assassination classroom dimension. And he's like, I am All Might, and I am here. Check peace and justice. And All Might is just, he's there. It's like, well, who is this guy? What? Oh, come on, I'm All Might. Don't you know? What is this? And then, well, you're a hero, so maybe you can help us with this. Sky, he's starting to blow up the world and all this. Well, let's see how he deals with this. Stop right there, evildoer. Okay, I am stopping. How can I help you? It's like, you are threatening to destroy the world. Well, I mean, I don't have really a choice here. In a certain amount of time, I'm just going to blow up. And these kids got to figure out a way to kill me. Sorry, but I'm here to stop you prior to that. You're not going to be blowing up anytime soon. I'm going to blow you up. And it's like, kind of redundant, don't you think? I know, but I'm here for justice. Peace and justice. And then the fight begins. Now, speed-wise, it's hard to say who's faster, Koro Sensei or All Might. Because at Mach 20, I mean, it's hard to say if just traveling speed, if a 30 second, I'm not doing the math, obviously, 30 seconds to move 5 kilometers is equivalent to Mach 20 or above. Strength-wise, it's pretty clear. All Might is the stronger of the two, though, because he had Koro Sensei has weak punches, things along those lines. Durability, though, that's a tricky matter, because unless he goes into his ultimate defense form, he doesn't really have much that can legitimately do anything to All Might. His tentacles could maybe, keep him bound for a little bit, but then he just uses his strength and just, it's like, okay, I'm good. It's like, let's try this again. Woohoo! Starts bouncing around. It's like, you've got a lot to learn about justice, kid. And then just grabs Koro Sensei. Whoa! All right, now I see how this is. Let's go. Let's dance. And then they're kind of blitzing each other. All Might's hitting Koro Sensei. Koro Sensei's hitting All Might. Koro Sensei, I think, would actually feel a bit of pain for the first time. It's like, he's actually hurting me to some extent. He can't really do the same thing to All Might, and even with the punches that he has, they're just not powerful punches. So Koro Sensei has to resort to going to his absolute defense form, and then All Might actually tries to hit him in it. Boom, doesn't do much, but he actually he doesn't crack it, but he shakes it a bit, and then he's just boom. It's like, I see, dastardly villain. Is like, that's right, and then he keeps pounding in on Koro Sensei, is trying to break it. You will not. It's like, you think you can hide from justice? I don't think so. Then boom, just starts smashing and smashing, even putting more and more power into it. And eventually it does start to crack a little bit, and even Koro's like, oh man. It was like, really? And then he just falls into laser and point blank blasts All Might. Just poof! All Might's burnt, but he's still very much alive. And it's like, first time in a long while, you damaged my uniform. You know how long it takes to make one of these uniforms? You know how long it takes to get a uniform in my size? Come on. Then, they clash again. He's like, and then All Might decides to go for his final attack, which, if I'm correct, it's United States of Smash! United States of Smash. Basically putting they'll put all their power into their final attacks. Laser and United States of Smash, they clash, is boom! And when it's all said and done, All Might's there, broken arm. Koro Sensei's there. His sphere's actually broken, and he's just, yeah, Well, this is awkward. Indeed. Thought you'd be dead. Yeah, I thought the same thing about you, but wow. And then, All Might's resorting to his weak form, just, well, this is, what are we going to do now? Call the draw? Well, the thing is, you're kind of a puddle at the moment. That's true, and I can't really do anything right now because I used that technique. Well, I guess I win because I can walk away from this. Oh, crud! Or better yet, he scoops him up into like a bowl. Here, you stay in here for a little while. It's like, wait, no, what are you doing? Seal him up, weld it shut. And it's like, no, they just seal him away, basically. And All Might comes out on top. Why does All Might come out on top? Because ultimately, when we're talking about, technically speaking, he does, Koro Sensei does have the better durability. Nothing in his universe, say antimatter weapons and water, theoretically, can hurt him or kill him. But that's in his universe. When you're talking about My Hero Academia, the whole thing changes up. And All Might has displayed enough durability. First off, he's displayed more than enough durability to survive pretty much anything Koro Sensei can actually dish at him. But he also has displayed enough power and ability to even keep going beyond his power, his limitations, that I think he might be able to legitimately hurt and overwhelm Koro Sensei. Not kill him, though, just because of the nature of his physiology, but actually overwhelm and put him down and beat him. It would probably take it all he had to do it just because of the sheer durability of Koro Sensei, but I think he would do it. So I am going to go with All Might for the win. What's the long-term percentage? Well, the question is there any way that Koro Sensei legitimately beats him? I suppose if he gets like a point-blank shot on his head with the laser, maybe? But even then, he survived city-scale attacks with barely any cuts on him. So I don't know if Koro Sensei legitimately has anything that could put All Might down. No one had anything. No one in the series had enough that they could beat him. So honestly, look, if you can think of a way Koro Sensei legitimately wins, let me know in the comments below. But I've got to go All Might pretty much all the time on this one, just because it's Koro Sensei has less in terms of actual offensive capabilities versus All Might. But anyway, I digress. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. And ideas for who would win, Star Wars, Super Magic, what if, anything I do on the channel. Put that in the comments below. Let me know. I'll get to that at some point. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you folks next time.